traffic study and what will be the scope of traffic study. We'll look at the redistribution of traffic, not only what the project and at what phase that project caused the redistribution. If you have a connecting roads, then you change the traffic redistribution from one town to the other for different areas. So that's very important, because if Tim will post these panels on a website and people will look at this, they will point out, well, what about this intersection, what about this one? This is only placeholder at the beginning that they had to place something, because we had this discussion that through the workshops we will, again, we'll add more, subtract, or whatever we'll do this. So this is, I think, important to stress. Also, it's important that we already started that way, that not only coming to the workshops, but at any time come and meet with the staff to work out the issues between the workshops, so we do not have to, then present the stuff to the board at the meeting. We will have already, a lot of stuff worked out during those meetings. But these are the things that I would like to stress.
Nothing like job security, huh, guys?
So how many miles of roadway are in there, Janos?
Okay, I forgot the most important, yeah. Because
here we go.
When the discussion was here about the fire, the fire department and the police department as only the safety, impact for these departments only. But if we don't know yet how many roads will be public roads. If they're private roads, there will be their concerns of maintaining a drainage system. But if we're only hurting here several public roads, and this will not be a regular subdivision with open swales, this will be majority closed drainage system with hundreds of structures, pipes. So that would be substantial impact on a very small department that we have as a public works department for maintaining the system. So this is additional things we have to think about it.
Oh, yeah. We're thinking about those things.
No, I got your budget. I got the budget book right here.
Your budget book.
So
You gotta get the big tab
so
on the
you're
highway.
saying you gotta get a Roto-Rooter franchise now?
Okay, anyone from the public, if you have any questions or comments, there's a microphone right here. Just identify yourselves, name and address for our records. Yeah, you have to come to the microphone. That's so the people at home listening on TV can hear, because we usually hear ourselves here, but people at home can't read lips.
Hi,
So.
I'm Fran Galen. I have a very simple, basic question. Who pays for all the infrastructure development? Who pays for the roads? Who pays for the increase in all of the
He's raising his
fire
hand.
department and police and schools, and who pays?
You're looking at him.
It'll be the
So-
developer.
Ongoing, although,
As the plan morphs, yes.
so so that's all been worked out already? Where that's not going to, because, I mean, it's just, personally, my concern
So you
about
want me to take this?
It's a part of the
development.
It's a part of the process.
Okay,
Right.
I went to was only able to make it to one of the charrettes, but some things about it seem very intriguing and could be very positive. My two concerns are, is it going to be a positive influence on the character of the town and people's experience living here, both in the development and those of us who already live here? And is it going to be revenue positive or kill us? So.
Okay, so I guess you just said,
Yeah, Brent,
that's mine?
Is that all?
And okay, so let me see if I can answer this question. So as the vice chairman of the planning board, as we do with all developers in doing my job on the planning board, we met with developers. These questions were immediate and forefront in the discussions with them, and with staff and with the town manager. So they came about immediately. There have been very similar discussions from the standpoint of that we need to work out some sort of a more of a unique relationship rather than a standard relationship. I think some people saw in the union leader that the applicant said that this would be a $1 billion development. At our current tax rate, that's how much money?
A lot.
So this is our, assistant assessor right here. So
Is that how he figures all of our taxes?
A lot, not enough, a lot.
So part of it is that revenue stream will exist as they build out. That revenue stream will exist as they go through the change of use process. There'll be dollars that they'll pay into the change of use process. Some of the suggestions that have been made publicly to the applicant is that we feel that it would be, and when I say we, I ran for town council, not because I'm crazy, but because of this project, and because of all the reasons you asked. You know, what we've expressed, some of us, the planning board members, some of the town council members to the developers, and I'm looking straight past you, Mr. Kettenbach, to that nice lady there, is that we would, we want to have a proactive approach to this. We can't handle this the way we are right now. So we are going to be looking for an active partner, which is the way that they approached us originally in saying, partner with us. We're going to build this. We've bought the land. Figure out how to partner with us. We'll figure out how to partner with you and try to build the best thing for the town. It's a big give and take. Are we going to get everything we want? Probably not. Is he going to get everything he wants? Probably not. But if we can meet someplace in the middle, we can, I'm hoping, and the reason I ran for office is to protect the exact things that you said. That's the goal. I'm hoping we're going to get there. Does that answer your question?
I think the overriding question that I've had from the beginning is how can we make this Londonderry-like? And that's, I think, the challenge that we have. And, you know, as John says, you know, that's the goal, because I think for this to succeed, one, I think the community has to be behind it, and the other has to be Londonderry-like. And there's various images of what Londonderry-like is from people that have been here for 2 years, 5 years, 30 years, or even 40 years. And Londonderry's gone through tremendous changes, even in the almost 30 years that I've been here. And, you know, it's not stopped yet. But I think it's to put our flavor on it, and something that's meaningful to us and has, you know, something inside that you feel positive about and good about. And that's what we want to hear. You know, that's what we want to hear from people. And there'll be many opinions, and we want to put those all together somehow and find something workable.
Because even though it's changed, it's maintained a character that we want to keep throughout this process.
We've been relatively good at it. I mean, some old timers will say, "Oh, it's just not the community," and anything is just like, "Oh."
Well, it isn't. It's
but
built.
this community has grown, and it's not in a no growth area. That's for sure.
Right.
We get the major airport in the state, partly in our town, major interstate in our town. We got a major rail right-of-way that goes between Manchester and Lawrence right in town. So that's where things congregate, where the transportation nexuses are. And we're here. That's probably why a lot of us are here, because of easy transit from
Still have the
I-93.
chalet, though.
To your point, Mr. Chairman, currently in the written document, towards the end of it, rather than get into a very technical explanation of architectural styles and things, if we can come up with images that have that Londonderry feel, or what might fit here, that I think is a better way of approaching this. I've worked on a number of different projects that have codes that regulate how you create buildings. They get very complicated very quickly, and I think it takes your eye off the ball. Here we're looking at a master plan. I think we know it's like pornography. You know it when you see it. We know it would be a good building versus a bad building, and so let's just agree on some images and have those in the document.
Anyone else? Jimmy? Jim and Agnes, former longtime chairman and planning board member.
I knew you couldn't stay away.
So we can leave.
Jim and Agnes, resident of Londonderry. First of all, I want the planning board to think of what they're doing. Look at the land, don't look at the project. It's a project no different than Reggie Ronzello brought in, old Londonderry brought in, and there was another one that brought in that never was done. I'm not saying these guys aren't going to do it. But remember, planning was started in 1963. Zoning. That's 40 years old, 45 years old. This is a 30-year project. Things can change in 30 years. But if you look at the land, it sits right next to Market Basket, correct? 93. Londonderry Road's on the other side of the turnpike. You've got Gilchrist. You have a loop from 102 back to 102 that could be used for commercials, C3, C2, C1. Multi-use of commercial, because it's a prime commercial piece of property. There are approximately 12 houses on Gilchrist Road, which could be office space, and it's 2 or 3 houses on Pillsbury Road to Londonderry Road. The other one is, I believe the other piece he's talking about is industrial land to begin with, that could come to Londonderry Road. Now, you're talking 30 years. In 30 years, you could widen Londonderry Road to a 4-lane highway, and it could be used. So we have to think of it as a town, not as a project. How many houses are coming in? How many kids we got to educate? How much money are we going to get to offset this? $1 billion? Is it going to take care of everything? They're talking about Portsmouth. You got winter maintenance. How do you take care of winter maintenance? They have to plow the street and take the snow out. They got to dump it somewhere. Or is it a condominium style? Is it going to be a condominium style so all the residents own their land? That's a question.
Could be a range of both owned and rented.
Excuse me?
Owned and rented.
They're all going to own a piece of...
So somebody will own.
There'll be,
Some will own, some will rent.
right. And some will be upper level residential, some will be single family residential.
Yeah, but they're going to have a condominium association.
There may be condominiums in the town center, but the outlying areas on the north side of Pillsbury Road, for example, will be mostly single family residential. It may have its own
They're
association.
going to own it on their own private road. Correct?
Private land.
Private land with the private road, or we maintaining it?
We haven't discussed the road
All
yet.
right, let me go one step further. If it's a private road and you maintain it, and then these people don't want to pay for the maintenance anymore, they turn it back to the town and it becomes our cost. It's happened before in Yellowstone. So there's a cost that we have to assume we might get.
Yeah, but we've got Janos, and he makes sure that the roads are up to speed before he allows them to go through,
Yes,
even
but
if they're private.
if he has the houses or the commercial sitting right on the road, you're going to be involved like Salem and Manchester and Portsmouth. You have to truck the snow away. You have no place to put it, so that's a big cost. So I wish the planning board would look into this situation, look at the land that we have, because we don't have any land on commercial land on 102 left. I don't think we have 50 acres left to develop on the whole road. Andre, close? No. You don't know?
There is.
So that's something the planning board has to look at. How much land do we have left for commercial? You read the paper, people want better restaurants. Where are they going to put them? There's no land. But that's a piece of land that could be turned commercial. And don't get rid of that piece of industrial land that if 4A ever goes in, that we already paid $5 million from a developer that promised the world, then it'll develop. Or it might develop another way. So don't lose that land. As a planning board, you should look to see what you have, not what they're presenting. Because what they're presenting is a lot of houses. That's cost to the town. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Anyone else? We're going to be doing this again anyway, so there'll be plenty of time for input, and maybe in some of our workshop sessions we can have more informally and like break out into groups or something, or something we'll have to talk about, to make it more comfortable to get a conversation. This is kind of a formal situation here, but we'll be back again, and it's on the agenda for December.
Put it in as a placeholder for
It's a
December.
placeholder right now. That'll be December 8th.
Very good.
The lady back there, you give him the microphone, please?
I've got a question.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Katie Wolf, Lancaster, 1 Lancaster Drive. I'm in a butter, and I've met Mike and had some conversations also with the town moderator. I was wondering if you've looked at all, investigating, talked about bringing in the abutters, bringing in the people that it's directly impacting, if the committee has looked at all about bringing in a task force, like a group of citizens, concerned citizens that want to be more involved, to act as a liaison or be more active in the process. Because there's a lot of chatter, there's a lot of people, a lot of buzz about it, and there's some misconceptions, there's some support, and I think if you develop that relationship more with this, not the board, but the actual citizens that can communicate. Have you looked at that, or is that a possibility?
Be happy to.
Sure. I
We
think
would
anything
encourage
is,
The applicant can approach you in any way they want to. If they want to get you together as a group, a task force has to be named by the town council. But the developer can proactively come to you and say, okay, who do you want to be your spokespeople? Who do you want to be your representatives? and you can